guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Would you love to deepen your spiritual connection and create a conscious shift in your life? Do you seek answer to human experience? Well, welcome to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. It's a 2.5-hour safe haven for your questions and Spirit's answers. And you can transform your life right now on VCMG in South Florida. SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium who can assist you to connect the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all possible experience and knowledge. For the next 2.5 hours, listen and call in toll-free 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch SarahSpiritual live on Facebook and YouTube and share love and light.
It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart, the ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing now. Won't you change and open your heart?
Your heart, right here on the Oldies station. And we are answering your questions at 866-972-7247. And we are so glad to be connecting with you. And we welcome any and all questions and comments, because this is a journey of each one of us on our spiritual path as we transform and we shift our consciousness. So the world, it's been a little difficult lately. And there's so much going on in the world that we don't really know where to turn. We're being faced with obstacles. We're being faced with challenges. We're being faced with, well, emotional turmoil. We feel as if we don't know where to turn. If we watch the news, we watch the program that talks about things that are going on in our country, outside of our country, it becomes, well, difficult to watch. If we look at social media, we see that there's so many challenges going on all around us, and each one of us has our own individual challenges. But what we've witnessed and we've seen in these recent days, as a country, as humanity, we're seeing some great challenges that none of us would want to go through. Those of us here in South Florida, we most certainly understand what it is to go through challenges from the weather. We have navigated some pretty intense storms over the years. And here we are again, parts of Florida going through devastation. And then as we look into Tennessee and North Carolina, South Carolina, even parts of Virginia, we're seeing devastation. We're seeing things that we never thought we'd really see in our lifetime. Things that we have really been faced with in these past few days has really left us all with this very heavy feeling. And you ask yourself, why do things have to be so challenging? Why do families and people have to go through such hardships? And why are we all feeling so helpless in the face of these challenges? It's not easy to go through what we're seeing people go through. The loss of life, the loss of supplies, their homes, everything in just a matter of a short period of time, almost instantaneously. And watching people that I know on Facebook and YouTube sharing their stories and Instagram of how they lost all of their possessions, water halfway into their house, destroying everything 4 feet up. It's not easy. And then we have to be grateful for those of us who didn't suffer that devastation. Maybe you were in the path of the hurricane and the rain and the wind as it went up through the middle of the country, and you're fine. And what determines whose house is going to be fine and whose house is not? Do we say God? We have to know that God is always with us. Sometimes it's just the path the storm takes. Other times we've seen people have devastation all around them, and this 1 or 2 homes are just sitting perfectly still as if nothing happened in the area. That house is untouched. I like to think at times that that's the hand of God. But if God would save 1 or 2 people's houses, why couldn't God fix everyone and make sure everyone is okay. Some things are acts of nature, and God created acts of nature. God doesn't always control the outcome. There are some things that happen in life that are out of our control for reasons we will never know. So if you and our listening audience has someone who is going through difficulties in this time, or those of us who have just been watching it unfold before our eyes, then we send you our love, our light, our prayers, and I encourage you all to do whatever you can. We can look in our closets and see what we have that we're not using, and maybe find a way to get it to them. Because we know here in South Florida that if we went through that, there would be people who would do it for us. And for those in the Panhandle and in Florida, we know you're suffering. And towns have been wiped out. One of my favorite places to go on the west coast of Florida is Longboat Key. And I got to see pictures of Armand's Circle and all the stores and all the restaurants and the Baseball Hall of Fame, everything with at least 4 feet of water inside of all the shops, and the center of the circle is covered in water. And yet, I was just there a few months ago, so it's hard to imagine. But as a business owner, it's more than just the nostalgia of what the person who visits it, might feel. It's their livelihood. It's everything that helps them survive in this world, be it a small business or a corporate business that's there. There are employees, there are people who are showing up every day for work that now don't have work. So life has been changed for many, just like that. But if we go back in history, not the history of storms, but the history of humanity and the history of life, the history of our own individual lives, we've all had that moment where we had to turn to faith. Maybe we haven't had the devastation that we are witnessing, and we pray we never do. So we cannot say that we know what it's like to be the people who are going through that if you haven't lived through that. There are some of you here in South Florida that lived through Hurricane Andrew. You have a better idea of what they're going through. But those of us who have just braved the storms and had some inconveniences, we don't understand the devastation that others are suffering. But we each have our own moments where our faith is tested. Be it through a loss of a job out of our control, be it through an unforeseen illness, be it through a shift in our family dynamic that sends off the balance of our household, and now we're struggling to keep things afloat. At one point or another, every human being is going to be tested. And it is not a test of pass or fail. It is not a test of God saying, let's see how smart you are, how good you are. Let's see what you can handle for the heck of it. It is just an opportunity for you to dig down deep inside and realize how courageous, how aligned with the universe you are, and that no matter what the external situation appears to be, as long as you are walking on this earth and breathing, there is a God that is walking with you. And that you will persevere and you will overcome the challenges that have been sent your way. Challenges can ask us to heal our own inner wounds and heal the parts of our personalities that need adjustments, or overcome addictions, overcome poor habits, step into our mature self, grow up, as they say, and break patterns and chains of experiences that have been handed down through the generations. So our faith can be tested in so many ways. And it always is meant to lead you to something greater. Even in all the devastation, there's always a greater plan that's for you. Now, I don't know the greater plan when people's families were washed away and not all of them made it. I can't say that I understand that greater plan. Just knowing that God is in charge is all we can know. And I don't know that a greater plan would make anyone feel comforted that their family members are missing or are no longer on this earth. There's so much going on. And then if we look in the world, and we look at bombings, we look at the disruptions, and well, where is the peace? Where is the ability for us all to come together as a planet and honor that we're all citizens of God? We're not just citizens of our country or members of our states. We are citizens of a planet. And each one of us is an integral part of that. So no matter where you are in your journey, you're never alone. There's an entire legion of angels and guides that are with you. And I'm sure as we pick up through the devastation, we're going to hear some miraculous stories of how people overcame things that they didn't know how they would. And those stories are to be paid attention to. Because those stories are stories of how God works through people and for people. You know, I know we're getting ready to make an election. And however that turns out, and whatever side of the fence you're on, you're electing a person. But you elected to come to this planet. But we don't have to elect our Creator. Our Creator is here for us all. And our Creator is not tied to one particular side. Our Creator represents peace and love and joy and harmony and integrity and truth and justice and everything that represents love. So when we go to the Creator in our times of difficulties, when we go to the Creator when we're faced with a challenge and we cry out for help. You know, some of us are too proud to ask for help from others, and some of you are too proud to ask for help from God. Cry out to God and God will hear you. God won't forsake you. There's a master plan for this planet. There's a master plan for creation. Each soul is particularly chosen to be a part of these unprecedented times, and these times of great transformation for humanity. And it is impossible to have change without uncomfortability, and usually without something challenging or even catastrophic happening. It's just how life has been on the planet since the planet's inception. But God has always been there, that steady force of energy, guiding the evolution of the planet to lead to humanity as we know humanity today. God is not responsible for humanity's personality, humanity's complete expression, and their need for what they want, and their need to be right, and their need for power, and their need for greed. So in those ways, we've stepped away from God. And so in these moments that Mother Nature or a catastrophic event or a tragedy occurs in a city, a town, a state, a country, an individual family, God uses that happening to talk to you. To talk to you and say, how can you be the difference? How can you bring about the change? First within yourself and your family. And how can you be of service to others? I know we can't just leave our jobs and fly to help others because they're cut off from us right now. We can't even get to them. But you can send your prayers. You can, to the right sources, make your donations. You can look in your closet and see what you're not using anymore and see how you can get it to them. Now, I know many of you listening, you're going through your own challenges. So you may say, well, who's going to make a donation to me? How am I going to be okay? Well, the same way you pay it forward to someone, the universe will pay it back to you. You ever notice how someone who doesn't have a lot is always giving, always manages to have enough to get by to the next day and the next day and the next day? I know as humans we don't want to just get by. We want to be comfortable. We want to be abundant. We want to have more than what we have. And we can have all that we desire. It's there for us. It is our birthright. But maybe the way that we're trying to create that is maybe being driven by a source that's not quite as aligned to the divine as it could be. So you want to ask yourself that. You know, in challenges we are given opportunities to pull ourselves out of the challenge and rise to the occasion. When I look at the challenges that I hear on a daily basis, I know that people have gone through tremendous challenges in their life and have experienced disappointments and betrayal and even disappointments in themselves, and at times have failed themselves because they knew better, but they made a choice. And it wasn't their best choice, their best moment. I look back at a time when, you know, I, like all of you, have had my challenges. And I have a lot of challenges that I could share, but there's one I was thinking about the other day that I had to really dig down deep, and I had to really understand what I knew to be my truth in a healing journey. And my choice to not follow what the medical science was telling me to do. And I had to choose to do the healing work from an injury that impacted my back, impacted my ability to be flexible and to be comfortable. Literally had 3 different major locations that needed work, needed a surgery, or so they said. I remember sitting there in my moment of desperation and seeking assistance and feeling challenged and feeling like, what am I going to do? I can't really work the way I want. I'm having trouble moving and sitting, and I was just in so much pain. I remember the doctor had this whole list of solutions. Here, take these pills, and let's have a surgery here, and let's call this thoracic surgeon. There's only 2 in the world that do this kind of surgery, but let's call them, and let's do this. And in my spirit, I was feeling this push of no. You see, sometimes when you're in a challenge and you're not still within yourself, you go into that spirit of desperation. And the spirit of desperation will make you listen and hitch your wagon to someone else's star who may not know what's best for you. I have ultimate respect for medical science. But as they were rattling down the things, even from the pain pills on, I was like, nope, 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 nope. And they gave me all the reasons why it should be yes, 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 yes. And they told me all the terrible things that were going to happen to me if I didn't do what they said. And I said, nope, nope, nope. But it was a moment where inside I was like, what am I going to do? And I had to dig down deep in that challenge, because when you don't feel well, when you're having challenges with your mobility, when you're in pain, it really messes with your mind, number 1. Number 2, it's messing with your mobility. You don't know how you're going to manage to do the very basic things like going to the grocery store. The things we take for granted. Sweeping or mopping your house. Getting in and out of a car. It was a lot. Sitting in a chair for more than 2 minutes. Not finding a comfortable position to sleep and therefore not being able to sleep. So in the challenge, I had to sit down and dig down deep. And I had to put myself in a state of grace, in a state of peace. And I had to find my courage to rise above it and to take the actions that I felt led to do. See, when we are in our everyday challenges, not these catastrophic challenges, because they at times can be insurmountable and they take so much time and so much assistance from others to overcome. But when each one of you is in your own individual catastrophic moment, and it brings you to your knees, you have to ask yourself what the right path is for you, not what desperation tells you to do. Desperation is a low vibration. It removes you from the divine. You are not connected to God when you're in desperation. Because when you're in desperation, your faith is out the window. Your faith is not connected to the divine. But when you have faith, and you know that that faith will bring you courage, and that faith will bring you solutions, and those solutions will take you through the challenge and bring you to the other side, so that you will have better resolution and an outcome that you can move with. You can bring about a change with. It is always something that is there for you. So no matter where you are in your journey, whether you're sitting with a financial challenge or a family challenge, a work challenge, a health challenge, and all the others that go on in life, sit tight. Give it to God. Make your cry. Put out your SOS. And for all of our friends in the Carolinas and in Florida and in Virginia, we send you love and light. And we know that when you put your cry out, even though people, humans, may not all be able to get to you yet, God's already there. God's on the ground already taking action. Be still and trust, and know that you will overcome any obstacle, any challenge, and that the human spirit is courageous and has the power to persevere anything. We're going to continue our conversation with faith over challenges and go to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. In just a minute, we need to take a moment to hear from our sponsors. So stay with us. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, and that's me, Sarah Spiritual. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people...
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561 682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at sarahspiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next 2 hours of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussions to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, Sarah Spiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another 2 hours to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHs. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have hurt each other. The world is changing now. It's asking us to move along, to open up a different way.
Yes, indeed. We are doing our best to open up a different way of loving one another. We're here live on Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad to have you joining us. We were talking about faith over challenge. And how do we overcome the challenges that are here before us? It's not easy. And in a time where the world is just seemingly one challenge after another, it can be very difficult. It's very difficult to watch. And even though you may not be going through what you're observing, each one of us is suffering for another. I remember when I was scrolling through Facebook, and I have some friends, and I'm hoping one of my friends is going to call in and tell us what they're experiencing in Florida. But we know that so much is just in an upheaval. And I know you've all been hearing this on the news, but we all have challenges. And when we have a challenge, we have to pull together. When I was scrolling through Facebook and Instagram, I came upon watching animals, dogs, cats, chickens, roosters. They were on top of houses, and the water was almost to the roof. And there were people on boats going ahead and trying to rescue them, giving them food, taking them down, helping them. And I thought how difficult it would be to not know where your pet is, to not know where your family members are, to be so dispersed and not be able to communicate. You know, we take all of that for granted. And we have to remember that we have to take everything with a sense of gratitude and do our best. So whether you have something you can donate to the pets, something you can donate to people, I just know that if in a state of crisis in this world, in this country, in Florida and the Carolinas and Tennessee and Virginia, wherever things are out of sorts from the storm and literally cut off, if you pay it forward, the universe will pay back. We have to stick together. 866-972-7247. We're going to go to the phone lines. We're answering your questions and, of course, talking about your faith over your challenges. And I have got to go to Manisha. Manisha in Seattle. Manisha, how are you? Manisha, I'm having difficulty hearing you. You sound like you're in a tunnel, so in order for me to have the call, I need to hear you more clearly. Are you on the phone?
Is this better?
It is better. Please speak into the phone, and if I'm on speaker or in any kind of gadget, just leave it to just the phone. So how are you tonight?
I'm okay. I'm doing okay. Thank you.
Good. What is your question for us this evening?
I had a surgery back in May that would allow me to be able to conceive, and there were some complications with the surgery, and I just wanted to know that would we still be able to do that, or did the complication kind of put an end to that?
And is there some scar tissue that's building up, or did we go in to remove scar tissue? Why is Spirit talking to me about scar tissue? Yes, thank you.
Oh.
Both, okay.
Yeah, scar tissue was removed, but it's also building up.
Yeah. So what I'm hearing in my spirit, in my head, in my ear, Spirit is saying something, yes, you have not completely ruled out the opportunity to have a baby. So that is still in the realm of possibilities. It appears that we haven't mitigated the challenge enough. But what I'm also hearing is perhaps there's something that you can do holistically, dietarily, to help slow the buildup of the scar tissue so it doesn't become as much as it was before, because it feels like it's rapidly reappearing, which I'm finding strange. And so we need to do something to negate that. And how we do that is, perhaps they have a medicine. I'm not a doctor, cannot diagnose you. But Spirit is also saying, maybe there's something from the medical medium or some holistic or functional doctor who can put you on some kind of anti-inflammatory diet and something to reduce the stress in the body, something to nourish the uterine lining, so that we no longer have that scar tissue. Were we looking, and did we remove fibroids? Did we have fibroids as well?
He said that he removed a couple of small cysts.
Okay, cyst, fibroid. Okay, got you. That's what it looks like to me. Spirit is saying, don't give up. Try a different route. Follow your spirit. You did what was suggested on this path. Now see what else comes up and is presented for you to do so that you can make a difference in your health a different way. All right?
Okay.
Thank you so much for your question. We greatly appreciate it. We're going to ask the angels to surround you. Be sure to call upon Archangel Raphael for healing. He will bring you healing in your physical body. And begin to take a look at what you're currently consuming and begin to take that out of your system. All right? Thank you so much.
Okay.
Bye for now.
All right. Thank you so much,
welcome.
Sarah.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We're going to go back to our phone lines. And from Seattle, I've got to go to Oregon. I've got Terry on the line. Terry, how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well, Terry. Just speak up just a tad for me, please.
Oh.
Thank you.
I'm doing very good. Can you hear me better?
I hear you perfectly now. Thank you so much. And how's your cat?
Mm-hmm. They're good. They're good. I have 5 now.
You have 5. Great. You must have heard me because I was just talking about you. And what was your cat's name that was missing for a while?
Sunny.
Sunny, yeah. We were just talking about Sunny.
Mm-hmm.
I tell Sunny's story often, how Sunny just up and disappeared. And I tell Sunny's story a lot. And, I use Sunny as an example as to why we have to follow our intuition and trust that God will intervene.
Right.
And when we have that prompt of a message, even though it seems impossible to what the human can conceive, I really believe that God brought Sunny back to you, practically dropped it off at your doorstep.
He did.
So
he did. Oh gosh, he like when I'm gone for a night. Oh my gosh, I come back and he's just like a child crying. Why did you leave me? I mean, it's like I feel so bad, but yeah. He's, if he was a man, we'd get married already. We'd have been married already.
Well, no, we can't marry a cat, but it's good to know. It's good to know that Sunny's good, and that to me is God's proof that God's hand is on you, Terry, and brought you back a miracle of a cat. That wasn't Sunny gone for months, like 4 months, 6 months.
He was gone for a year, almost to the day.
Almost to the day, right? So I got to change the story because when I tell the story, I think it's like 6 months, and because I remember you called like 3 or 4 times, and all 4 times you asked me the question, and I would like inside my humanness kind of hold my breath and be like, what's the answer going to be now, right? And Spirit would come back and go, the cat's coming back, Sarah. Just tell her the cat's coming back. And I would just pause and listen to Spirit.
Thank God for you.
Oh, I was like, really, Spirit? And Spirit would be like, go ahead, tell her it's coming back. And I'd be like, okay, your cat's coming back. And I would drive home, and you don't know the back end of the story, so I'm sharing it with you now. I would drive home, and I'd be like, please, God, bring the cat back, please. Because now we're all rooting for this cat to get home. And I would be like crying in the car, hoping the cat is coming back soon, because every time you would call, you would feel even more, your energy would feel even more down and desperate. And I'd be like, God said the cat's coming back. But then we get into our human mind, and I'm sure you would, after you'd hang up the phone with me after a while, be like, well, how's that going to happen, right? Like, we don't even know where the cat is. We just moved. The cat doesn't even know where we are.
Right.
Like, how is that going to happen?
Right.
And, it's different if you lived in the same place, and so, I would run the gamut of thoughts myself because we're human. And why do I share this story? Because each one of us has that challenge inside of us of trust God, but then our human mind, our little monkey brains go off and go blah, 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 and say all these crazy things.
Well, it's something told me, God, post it again, because I post it many times on this. It's called Nextdoor, a local. And I posted it again, and right away I got a response. I think I have your cat. Oh my God, just like, no way, because I've had so many people say, oh, I think I have your cat. No. And when I saw him and he saw me, it was like a movie in the movies.
Oh.
I mean, just if I could, I wish somebody would have recorded that video, but oh my gosh, it was so precious. And it's like, wow. So it really, God is real, and you just have to, have the faith that
Absolutely.
it will happen, You
have to have faith. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
What is your burning question for us tonight, Terry? Thank you so much for calling and, of course, following the show.
Well, thank you for that. Thank you for that, Sarah, by the way. I want to know my neighbor, Dave. He's a good friend of mine, David. And I want to know, where is he going in life? I mean, he's just kind of stuck here where I live, and, he lives in Vegas part-time too. He just doesn't know what to do, type of thing. And I just, how could I say this? Like, what path do you see him going on?
Can you tell me when Dave's birthday is?
Oh, I don't know when his birthday is, but he's 63.
Without his birthday, I can't give you an exact indicator of where he's at, but as far as what's to come. But I can tell you, based on the vibration around him, I feel as if in the past 3 years, going back 3 years to 2021, I feel as if there's a sense of almost like a sadness, a loss, disappointment, and I feel like he's just trying to kind of get his rhythm back and feel whole again. So the joy, the enthusiasm of life, as Spirit is giving me those words, is not quite there. But he tries to mimic joy and enthusiasm by going here and going there and doing different things. But part of him is not fully present yet. They take me to the energy of, and we'll have to get his birthday eventually so we can put these pieces together, but my guides take me to the energy of 2025, summer of 2025, and him being on a better path, a better trajectory, financially, even in his actions of what he chooses to do. I feel like he doesn't have the consistent way of finances to flow for him the way he would like. I feel like there's a flow that's out of sync with him financially. I feel as if he's been separate from people that he cares for a bit, and so there's that sense of kind of being on the outside, looking in. And they're also taking me to, when you first gave me his name, Spirit always scribbling through me, and there's always a paper in front of me for those of you who have never watched me work, and in the paper they have me scribble, and I'm scribbling a heart. So at first I was thinking it was matters of the heart, but it goes beyond that. I just feel like he has to keep an eye on his heart. I don't know if he's got some issues with I'm not a doctor, I cannot diagnose, but the way Spirit shows me, I just don't know if there's some indication where some of his arteries may have to be looked at. He's having some blood pressure issues, so this is where they kind of put that for me. Does any of this make sense to you based on what you know?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, definitely. I would want to text him right now, but I don't want to lose the call with you.
Yes.
But I really can't remember when his birthday is.
Well, you'll find
January,
out.
That's maybe.
Yeah, find out when you can, and then we'll revisit this question for more specificity. But in the meantime, that's what Spirit has for me. And, Terry, I know that you're better on your feet right now. Things are going better for you. This year is really about getting your life in order and balance, so you finally kind of have your feet on the ground, right? So just...
Finally, yes.
Yeah, keep us posted, all right?
I will. And I know my grandparents are around me still, and I just want to tell them I love them.
Always. Yeah. Yeah, there's a sense of, it's hard to get used to that they're gone, but they're still here. They're still here.
Well, if God should have made it, we could have one phone call a month to heaven or something.
Yeah. Well, see, here's the catch.
Well,
we have
wish.
continuous phone calls, and they're always right there. There's a song that Spirit had given me that said for us not to cry that they didn't die, that they're right here. They're walking with us. They're talking with us. We just can't hear them, and we can't see them. But when we open our hearts and we open our hearts to allow them to come through, we feel that pull and that push from them, from their energy. The song goes like this: don't you cry, don't you hide. You've got to live your life even though you don't see me. I'm right here. I'm walking with you and holding your hand though you can't see me. Oh, I'm here, so don't you cry, 'cause I didn't die. I am here with you, right by your side, so don't you cry. That's what they wrote.
Such a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I'll look that song up on YouTube. Thank you,
So
Sarah.
look that up on YouTube. Yes, thank you. If anyone else wants to hear that song, go on YouTube. Don't You Cry. Helena Suba makes sure she puts up a lot of the songs I've written. Spirit's channeled over 300 songs through me. We don't have all 300 up, but we do have some of our personal faves, and I'm sure we'll be putting more up as we continue to build. Thank you so much, Terry. Greatly appreciate you.
And you're doing okay? And you're doing okay?
I'm doing
okay
well. Thank you
yourself?
so much for asking. Yes, and just like everyone, feeling a little down because the world is just in such a little bit of a shift. But we know that God's in control, so we're going to trust that. And of course, give Sonny a big hug and kiss from Auntie Sarah. Okay? Thank you so much.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You're
God bless
welcome.
you.
Bye from
Okay,
now.
bye-bye.
God bless you. 866-972-7247. All right, from Oregon, we're going to come right on back to Florida. We've got Broward County. We've got Steve. Steve has been listening to the show for 15 years and 5 months. Hello, Steve. How are you?
I'm doing great. How are you doing?
I'm doing well. Can you believe 15 years and 5 months you've been talking to me? Like, really?
Yes, I can, because you saved my life 1,000 times with your readings.
Thank you. Well, we're glad that God saves us all, right? And I'm just happy to be able to hear the message and just trust the influence of Spirit, even when sometimes my human mind is thinking, what? But I just trust what they tell me. And that's one thing you're learning to do, Steve, and we are encouraging you, your angels, your guides, and I, SarahSpiritual, encourage you to trust your imprints, your visions, your blueprints that Spirit is giving you. You've been so wired in the 3D world for so long that this coming out party that you've been having for the past 5 years of your third eye really opening, and you're really feeling and sensing things and your visions and your dreams, Spirit is preparing you for something. And you may ask me, SarahSpiritual, what are they preparing you for? Well, just like I didn't know what I was being prepared for, sometimes we can't know exactly the details, but I do know that you're here for more than just your own personal visions, to receive visions and your own personal growth spiritually. We're all here to grow, but you're here to grow and then do something with it moving forward. And, regardless of whether it's this year or next year, time does not hold true in heaven. Time does not hold true in the universe the way we see it as humans. So just trust that you're going through a lot of these twists and turns spiritually for a reason. Steve, what is your question for me tonight?
Every now and then, even though I'm burning the midnight oil, I do try to check in with Spirit to see, what he has in store for me or what messages he has for me. And lo and behold, you belted it out before I can even get the question out. So there it is.
Trust the process, right? Trust the process, and know that as God opens your third eye and opens your eyes to see beyond what we've been trained to see, God is working with your heart to heal your heart of past disappointments and betrayals, and bringing you to the energy of self-love and understanding who you are. Because until we love ourselves and understand who we are and what we've come to do in our life, and I don't always mean physically in the world, like an action that we always feel as humans we need to take. We need to take an action. We need to do something. We need to make a name for ourselves, or we need a good career or a good paycheck. Those things are beneficial in the physical world, but that's not what we're here for. It's necessary to exist, but it's not our overall purpose. And the more you love yourself, and the more you understand yourself, and the more you forgive yourself for your missteps, as we all have made missteps, the closer you get to God. The closer you get to God, the more you realize that you're perfect, and that your imperfections were simply opportunities for you to redirect yourself, for you to grow. It is always about you and your personal transformation. So we trust that you will continue to grow in this period of time. I will tell you that 2025 is really going to open up some new opportunities for you, spiritually speaking. And, I do encourage you whenever possible to go to any little meditation groups that might be in your area, anything that is a little simple spiritual kumbaya type environment that's not costly, that you can just be in the energy and the frequency, because we just want to put you in the energy so that you can open up more. They're particularly leading me to frequencies, the sounds of frequencies, to adjust your frequency. So that would be singing bowls, sound healings, and things such as that. All right?
Yeah, I've been going to that same group that you've been mentioning for years now, and I feel quite comfortable with them. So, yeah, the Spirit is reading my mind.
Perfect.
Yeah, I'm just here, just giving energy to my dog still. That's still working. So
it's still working, yeah, because you've got the magic touch in the healing. So we want to send that healing. And, I encourage you and everyone, remember that God works through all of us, and we all have the power to heal. I mean, if we all send healing to all parts of the planet, think what a place the world would be. Thank you so much, Steve, for checking in with us. We greatly appreciate the almost monthly checkups to see what the universe has for you. And thank you for listening to the show for 15 years and 5 months. Here we go. We're heading into our 15 and a half years. So we thank you so much, Steve. Good night and God bless you. Bye for now.
Thank you.
Bye. 866-972-7247. We are going to take a minute to hear from our sponsors. Then we're going to come back. We've got calls all on our board. We've got calls from California to Florida, and we've got our Facebook friends and our YouTube friends. So be sure to put your comments and your questions in the feed, because when we come back, we're going to get to you too. Stay with us. We'll be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater. And the characters, they change like water into wine. Everything comes when the stars align.
Yes, indeed, everything comes when the stars align. Do you know me? I think I know you. I am Sarah Spiritual, and you are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. We're so glad that you're joining me, and as you might have heard in our last caller, yeah, we've been hanging out with all of you for 15 and a half years. Now, almost 15 years and 5 months, but who's counting a few weeks? I don't know that I've been on the Oldies station that long, but I have been on radio here in South Florida since 2009, and we've been a part of the Oldies station now for about 5 years, so it's been a fun ride. We're really glad to have you, and we're really glad to be heard in Miami on WSFS, and we're happy to be heard on the Oldies station on 95.3 and 95.9, 96.9, 106.9, and 103.1 HD3. We are glad to have you joining us. If you're cruising down the highway here in South Florida and you're thinking, what's going on this station? This is the show where people have been calling in for over 15 years to ask some of life's simple or complicated and personal questions, and asking guidance from intuition, spirit, your guides, your angels, so that we can have some clarity as we navigate life's day-to-day issues, and making choices that align us to our own individual connection with the divine. Because that's the goal here. The goal here is not for me to tell you what to do. The goal here is for us to get some guidance, kind of give you an insight as to how it could turn out and what is most likely going to happen, and how you could navigate it, and how you can align yourself to make a choice that's better for you than maybe the path you're on, or how you maybe need to hold on to some more faith or some well, courage just as you navigate through something difficult. Or maybe just be patient with yourself or someone else, or perhaps practice a little bit more compassion and love. So this is where we get all that, and this is where people come and ask some of the darndest things, but Spirit is very kind and understanding and most certainly helps us, even when we, as humans, and we've all done it, get ourselves into a bit of a pickle. Because if you've ever been in a pickle, it's not pretty. And we always need help trying to get out. So I want to thank everyone last night who came to our Archangel Michael class and wonderful ceremony. We are really glad to be a part of the energy of Archangel Michael. And I want to thank everyone who has participated online and everyone who was there live at the center. All of our classes are live at the center, the Expedito Enlightenment Center that is in West Palm Beach. That's where I will be found every day during the week. And that is where we hold our classes in the evenings, generally around 7:30. And our classes are usually about an hour and a half to 2 hours long. And we have another class coming up. Drum roll, please. We have a full moon celebration, a full moon releasing ceremony where we're going to release anything that doesn't serve you. So if you want to let it go, let it go. We need to let some things go. You want to be at my full moon releasing ceremony. We are going to be working together, and I have some great tips from Spirit as to how to tune into the full moon, and this Hunter moon is preparing for the months to come, and that class is Thursday, October 17th. The cost is only $15. You can take this class live at the center or online, so visit SarahSpiritual.com. And also we have a very special guest at the Expedito Enlightenment Center. He's been coming to the center since about 2011. So he's been a part of our center for a while. This is Calvin Cates. Calvin Cates brings in the crystal healing bed, the healing bed of John of God. That is the energy of the Casa Dom Ignacio, brings in the healing energies through these crystal bulbs that permeate the energy within your chakras and align you and balance you, help you emotionally and physically and spiritually. So he will be at our center this Friday and Saturday. So you can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955, or you can go to expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com, and there you can register ahead of time. And we also are really glad that we have the opportunity to have Stacy Holler with us next week. Stacy is with her family tonight, so she's not able to be with us this Wednesday. Normally she gives us our astrology report for the month, but lucky for us, October's a long month, so she will be with us next Wednesday, giving us our astrology report. So those of you who are hoping to hear from Stacy, she is with her family, and we will see her next week. We always appreciate Stacy taking the time from her busy schedule, because she does a lot, and spend time with all of us, sharing with us all the information regarding our astrology for each one of the signs and how the planets and the stars and the moon are going to be impacting us for a particular month. So we look forward to having Stacy Holler with us next Wednesday night in the 8 o'clock hour, so mark your calendar. Well, I know we have some friends on Facebook, so they're going to gather those questions for me, and if you haven't put your questions in the feed, please do. For this minute, I've got to pop on to Florida and answer a call. I've got Tia, and Tia is in Fort Pierce. Tia, how are you?
Hi, how are you, Sarah?
I'm doing well, Tia. Good to make this connection again with you. Good to have you calling in. You know, when I look at the energy around you, I feel like it's time to get yourself unstuck. Are you feeling stuck and stagnant and feeling like you can't quite move the way you want to? Is that true?
Yes.
And what is your question for us?
I had a question on there last week. I'm going through a court for my godson. I raised him from 6 days to 10 months.
Yes.
His mom came and took him from me, and you had needed to know his birthday. His birthday is 10/4/2023.
Okay.
And my birthday is 10/13/71.
Okay. And so the question was, are you going to be able to have custody of your godson? Yes.
Correct.
Yes. So the mother is going through some difficult times. Yes, she's not the most stable individual. Yes, is that true?
Correct.
She's dabbling in some substances. Is that also true?
Correct.
Are we able to have some documented proof of her different situations that she's had with the law
Yes.
and with her ability
Yes.
to rehab? Yes, we have documentation. I
I
don't.
have documentation that she was homeless, sleeping in her car, and that's how I got him. Yes.
Okay.
So
So, and does she not have a residence and a place to really keep the baby safe?
not really. She's from here to there. She was staying in the motels. She has lived in a total of 10 motels just this year alone.
Okay.
And she done had him now for 2 months. Like I said, I had him from 6 days to 10 months old. He was taken away from me by her August the 2nd.
Mm-hmm. Well, she is the mother, so she has the ultimate right. So your job in this case for the protection of the little one, not to slight her, right? She's going through her own challenges, right? And she has to get well. But you need to
Correct.
build your case. I can see you having a temporary custody. I don't know that they're going to give you any kind of full custody yet because they need to give her every opportunity because she is the mother to get
Correct.
her act together.
Right. And I even told her I even helped her. Even when she was out there, I still helped pay for her motels and fed her, did everything I could do. And I would still help her. You know, it's just so hurtful that how she took him, and I haven't seen him since she taken him from me.
Right. Well, this unfortunately is not about your emotions and how you interpret and how you
Correct.
feel hurt. This is about, and this is very important for you to remember when you're standing in the court. I'm not a lawyer, can't give you legal advice, but from an energetic
Right.
point of view, you want to transmit that, you know, you care for the child, you make sure everything the child needs is provided, that there's consistency,
Correct.
that a little one does, you know, really shouldn't have to be in a
Correct.
car or changing in motels where we don't really know who's around. It's not really the best environment or the safest environment. That we are still concerned with her substance abuse, and we don't feel that she's on a strong, steady pace, and this is what you have to prove that, and you would like to take the
Correct.
baby under your loving care and guidance while she gets her act together.
Gets herself together. Correct.
Okay? If you come from that place with the best interest of the child, then I believe that they're going to side with you. You know, mothers always have, you know, I have people who have been through so much, and they have a whole list, a laundry list of reasons why they shouldn't be a parent, and they still get to be a parent, right? And, you know, that's their child,
Right.
and we
And I
understand
want her
that.
to be a parent. I just want to be a part of his life, and wherever she needs help, I'm even willing to help her.
Right. Well, she has to help herself first, and right now the way to help her is for her to
Correct.
get clean, and she's not clean. I do not see someone who's clean.
Correct.
So someone who's not clean may not be doing all the right things for her child.
Correct.
And that's what we have to concern ourselves with, right?
Yes. Yes.
So that is Spirit's answer. When are you going to court?
Thank you. October the 15th.
Okay. So you pray. Pray to Archangel Michael, that Archangel Michael will intervene for truth and justice to assist you and assist this little one, and to free her of the cords of energy that tie her and bind her to any abuse or addiction, and free her from the
Yes.
energy that attaches her to the need to use and participate in alcohol and drugs, right? So you pray for her, you pray for justice, and you pray that Archangel Michael and the angels always cover this little one. So regardless of whose company the little one is in, this little one will always remain safe and protected through the angels and through your prayers. You have the power to change this story, not just by a court of law. You have the power to change this story by your sheer prayer and change the outcome for the better of everyone. So that's why I say to you, as much as I understand how you feel a little brokenhearted, and she came and took her child, which she can, I know you feel that way, but you're going to take your feelings and put them on a shelf, honey, because your feelings are just, you're feeling hurt because you feel all that I did, and you did what you did, and you would do it again. So now you cannot expect better behavior from someone who is not physically, mentally, and emotionally well. So don't take it personal. Put it on the shelf and move forward in the greatest good for the child, and then all will be well.
Thank you. And you won't believe his name is Chosen.
Well, then he is chosen,
Thank
right?
you.
So then you watch over the chosen one, and I know God will reward you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you kindly.
You're
Be
welcome.
blessed.
Bye for now. Yes. 866-972-7247. Drum roll, please. I think we need to go to Facebook and see what's going on in YouTube. I think we need to see who's got what going on in our Facebook feed and the comments that we've got going on before we go back to our phone lines, because we do have phone calls in Florida and California and Texas. So let's see. Do we have anything on our Facebook feed that we want to address before I take another call? All right, there we go. We've got Anna Spellman. And Anna says, please tell me if Chris misses me. Please and thank you. And so much, thank you so much for your time and energy. Well, it's my pleasure, Anna, to give my time and energy, and thank you for acknowledging that. So let's take a look at Chris. I spy with my SarahSpiritual eye. And when I look at Chris's energy is what I call a wobble. What's a wobble, SarahSpiritual? I feel like Chris is very uncertain as to where Chris is. I feel like Chris is in a juncture of Chris's life, and Chris needs to make some changes this year. And so, does Chris think of you? Yes. Does Chris miss you? I don't know if I have that word miss per se, but I do know that Chris has got to get some things in order so Chris can be free to miss you. I will tell you, Anna, that for you right now, this time is a time of great expansion and great growth, and you will know where you and Chris stand by the end of the year. They're really taking me to November. So if you and Chris are on this little break or divide or not on the same page, which is how I see it, just trust that this space will kind of get shorter and will be able to, or smaller I should say, and you will be able to take yourself in a better put yourself in a better position in this relationship, and we can have some more communication, and you can understand where Chris stands at this moment, and you can get a little bit more reassurance, Anna. But right now, Chris has got to take care of Chris. Do not take it personally. You are in the thoughts of Chris, and so if you are feeling love and missing of Chris, I advise you to send that love energy towards Chris so Chris can feel it, and ideally Chris will come around when Chris's energy is more in alignment with communicating feelings to you. Thank you so much, Anna, for your Facebook question. I know that a lot of people wonder what's going on with someone that they are thinking of, so we appreciate that question and your vulnerability. Thank you so much. We're going to take one more question from Facebook and YouTube before we go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We've got Ashley Foreign, and she says, she's giving me information about Charles, and she says that Charles passed in 2017, and does he have any message for me? And she gives me her birthday. So Charles passing in May of 2017. So when I look at the energy between you and Charles, the energy between you and Charles makes me feel like Charles knew everything there was to know about you. The two of you were connected in a way that kind of bound you in your souls forever. I feel like there was a strong pull connection between the two of you. Soulmates is the word that Spirit gives me. So in the soulmate energy, what I get from the energy of Charles is that Charles is your soulmate now and forever and will always be with you. He is making reference to something on the wrist. I don't know if he's pointing to a bracelet or something that's actually physically on your wrist. So he's talking about something on your wrist, and that's supposed to be a clue for you. He's showing me a wrist. He's showing me something on the wrist. I don't feel like it's a bracelet. Something on the wrist. So I don't know if you've got something marked on your wrist, Ashley. Be sure to share that with us on the Facebook feed, And we thank you so much for your question. We're going to go right back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. And we've got to go to Christina. Christina is in North Palm Beach. Christina, how are you this evening?
Hi. I'm happy to be here. I'm very impressed. It's my first time listening to you and your show.
Thank you.
And it's so sincere with everyone. It's just very sweet.
Thank you. We are glad to have you here, and I know the universe brings us people who need to come here and need to hear something from the universe, and we also know that we're all connected in a soul family, so welcome back to the family. Glad to have you here. Christina, I will tell you this, Christina, this year is your year to kind of, they talk about reinvent yourself, redesign yourself, kind of get out of the box. There's some kind of, I don't know, change that you want to make for yourself personally. This is a good time to consider feeling inspired and creative, because 2025 brings us into this nice sense of community and change for you. So if you're planning to make some shifts having to do with something related to finances or work, this is going to be a good time for you in 2025. Does that make any sense to you?
It does.
Good.
It does. Here, that's nice to hear. I have severe chronic body pain, and I know I'm saying matter-of-factly because I just don't know. And I think I'm trying to wrap my head around how and why. But right now, what do I do? I've revisited with a lot of doctors, and I've had all kinds of direction from concerning surgeries. He saw a doctor that offered stem cell at an incredible price, but I keep wanting to just meditate and find out, am I holding this? Is it?
It's a great question.
I've lost a lot. Half a dozen family members since COVID, and actually my entire family. And it's just compound. And so I heard your October letting go, but yeah, so that's my thing. All
right. So first,
I'm not sure what to do.
I know, and it's a bit of a complicated story, right? Because you've sought counsel from others, and there's many different ways that you can go. So first, we want to find the right choice and what's the best choice for you, right? And our conversation can only go so far for us, but you would be someone I would love to have a personal session with, just so we can delve down and we can discuss things that maybe I don't normally discuss on radio. So we'll just leave that out there, and perhaps you and I can meet for a session at my center, or a phone would get you to me sooner. But your dad has passed as well, please. Is that true? I have a man standing above you. Has Dad passed?
Oh, yes, in my arms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He is right. He's with you, honey. And he wants you to know that he's with you. And the way that you carried him through and helped him through his passing, he is carrying you through this suffering and this time of difficulty. So please know that Father is with you. He brings you much love. And there's another male standing with him. Is there another male connected to family, a brother, an uncle? I don't know if it's, he's saying brother, so I don't know if it's his brother or your brother. Is there another man standing there? There's another man standing. Is there another family member, I should say?
Well, when his brother, his dad passed, he goes, honey, do you believe in ghosts? I keep seeing my brother. But I didn't really know Uncle Wally.
Okay. Well, then Uncle Wally is there. Okay, Uncle Wally, because he's talking to me about a brother. Okay.
That's sweet.
So just know that Uncle Wally is there. So he wasn't Casper the Friendly Ghost. He's Uncle Wally the Ghost, and Uncle Wally is in spirit with your dad, and they are together, all right? I know there are others there, and I know that that's not the point of your question here with me, but I had to. Your dad ran right up to me, so I had to let you know that Dad is with you. And before we have to go to commercial, I want to spit this out for you. You are not alone. Everyone that you helped in their journey in time, they are with you, supporting you. You are holding on to a lot of
You know,
energies
I
from the
recently
past.
lost my grandson.
Yeah.
And I just need to know he's okay.
Yeah.
He was only a baby.
Yeah. We will.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I look at his energy.
Yeah.
Right. He passed recently in the past few months, though. Correct.
Yeah. He's Chris. 4 days before Christmas, the same year, 2022. So,
yeah,
yeah.
2022. Okay.
Yeah.
So, who's connected to since now we're on this other side, we will probably not get to the answer for your question, but who is connected to the month of 3, the third month, the month of March? Who's connected to that, please? They're giving me the month of March.
My dad.
Your dad. Okay, so I thank your dad for that confirmation. You know, they like to make sure that you know that I know that they're there and I'm not just going, oh, yeah, I think I see Dad. All right, so Dad just wants you to know for sure. You know, your dad's kind of like that. He wants to cross his T's and dot his I's and make sure everyone knows, what the right thing to do is, and that's what your dad's bringing me. I do feel there's a lot of inflammation. I also feel in your physical body, I don't know if you were tested for, or again, I am not a doctor, I cannot diagnose, but if you were tested for something that has to do with a virus, like an Epstein-Barr, a Lyme disease, or something, because I feel like there's something underlying in the body that keeps acting up every time there's stress, every time there's the wrong balance of nutrients in the body. And so I keep feeling that things get exacerbated, and now you're feeling like, the only way to fix the body almost feels like it's freezing up on me, is how I see it, right? I feel like you just kind of lock up, is how they paint it to me. I feel like we need to address some underlying viral activity. It is time for me to go to commercial, so I do have to ask you to give us a call back, or let's see if we can connect in a personal session. You can go to SarahSpiritual.com, but let's examine things that are rooted in a viral cause if we can, all right?
Okay,
great. All right.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Thank you so much. It was a pleasure meeting you, and God bless you. Call the angels. Faith through challenge, you'll be fine. Trust the process. All right, bye for now. 866-972-7247. You're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. We got to wrap this hour up, but we'll be back for a whole nother hour. Stay with us. Don't go anywhere. Bye for now.
The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 104.3 HD3 Miramar, WIRK 103.1 HD3 Indiantown, and heard in Broward on 96.9 FM, Boca Raton on 95.3 FM, West Palm Beach on 95.9 FM, and in Martin County on 106.9 FM. Programming paid for by Vic Canales Media Group. We are South Florida's home for the True Oldies channel.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
This show is furnished by Sarah Spiritual.
The content, information, and opinions expressed during the related show are those of the show personalities and guest alone, and not those of Vic Canellis Media Group, its parent, affiliates, or stations. VCMG Live is not responsible for any content, information, or opinions expressed. User bears full responsibility for their reliance on such content, information, or opinions.
Welcome back to the next hour of Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, as we continue our uplifting and empowering spiritual discussion to transform your life. A gifted spiritual advisor, coach, and medium, SarahSpiritual will assist you to connect to the light within and transcend beyond the limits of all experience and knowledge. We have another hour to listen and call in 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247. And watch Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube, and you can share the love and light.
The world is changing now, and we don't know where to go. The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be, 'cause the world is changing now. We can't walk the way we did. We don't know the path. We have to listen to our heart. The ways that worked before, they don't work anymore. We have lost our love for everyone. We have it's asking us to move along, to open up a different way of loving one another. We can't stay the same. We've lost the game of life. We can't run away anymore. The world is changing now. We need to heed the warning. The world is calling you to rise above where you've been. The world is changing now. What we did before doesn't work. It's time for you. It's time for me.
It's time for you. It's time for me to change. The world is changing, and it's time to make a shift yourself. And when you're in your times of challenges, we've got to dig down deep in our faith and make some shifts and changes so that we can take ourselves to the better experience and trust that the universe has our back. We are going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247. We are answering your questions all across the nation, and of course welcoming your questions on Facebook and YouTube. Be sure to put them in the comments in the feed. We will be getting back to more questions in just a little bit, so don't go anywhere there on Facebook and YouTube. We've got to go back to the phone lines, and I've got to go to Esther, and Esther is in Texas. Esther, how are you tonight?
I'm good, Sarah. Thank you for asking. What about you?
I'm doing well, doing well. So, Esther, what is your burning question today in this fabulous time of expansion and growth and new horizons and new opportunities? This is your time to shine.
Oh, yes. Thank you. My question is, on the 6th of October would have been my brother's birthday. He passed away August 30, 2022, and I'm thinking that he might have some messages for me.
And you said October 6th, correct?
Yes, in 4 days would have been his birthday.
Yeah. And when I look at the energy around your brother, interesting, he's talking to me about a house, a family house. Is there a family house that he was a part of, please?
Yes.
Okay. And is there a he's talking to me about was there some kind of difficult transition with the house after he passed, or is there still something going on with the house at this time, please?
I'm not sure about his house, because he was in London. There's a house back home in Jamaica where there's another complication where he was supposed to be a part of.
That's the house he's talking about. Yes.
Bad things. So nothing happening. So I just...
Yes. So that's the house he's talking about, because that house is really supposed to be a place of peace, a place of rest. And do we connect that house to mother, grandmother energy, please? Is that correct?
Definitely. My grandmother left it, and it should have been sold, and I had the greater percentage, and everybody else has 5%. And if you bury anyone, then you inherit theirs. And I buried my sister, which died in '98, her brother that died. And I said, let me just keep it so whomever is there, which is my other brother and his son, and my deceased sister's son could live. But this house is a wreck. Nobody wants to do anything, and it's just a lot of complication and just in disarray. And I feel like I would have just go ahead and sold it, but I don't think it's worth nothing because it's run down.
Well, it is on some type of land, right? So there is some value there. And we don't have the abundance, nor do we care to spend the abundance to rebuild it. So Your brother's bringing up this house. You asked if he has a message, so yes, he's with you. But he's bringing up this house because we need to close this up and end this story once and for all. So he's going to this house, and so he wants you to sell it. He wants you to, be done with it. Close it out. Close the chapter. The legacy of your grandmother there is over. Her memory lives on, but whatever you have to do, because it is not something that is meant to continue in the way, because there are people who are not honoring the memory, they're not honoring the property, they're not caring for the property, and that's not what your grandmother would have wanted. Is this true?
You're so right on, because even before he got that sick, he said to me, "Sister, I have some money that I want to put together. Let's put some money together and sell this place." But then, we never go through. He got sicker, and I just feel like,
Well, he's
then
reiterating.
I told him I wanted to fix it up. Before he passed, maybe about a year, I said, "I'm going to try to put a bathroom on there to help the other brother that's living there." And he said, "Sister, save your money. Don't waste it. Get the house sold."
Okay, so you asked for your message, and me not knowing the story at all, he's bringing me to the house and telling me to tell you that this house needs to go, and you need to be done with it and close that chapter, and that and I understand. I know they're not in the best way in Jamaica, and I know their finances and their life is not set, but you're not responsible for them. You need to rid yourself of this property, close the generational circuit of that property so that you can prosper in your own property. I feel like this property, even though you're not pouring money into it, this energy of the past is holding you back and preventing you from moving forward.
I agree.
So
100%.
let it go. Let it go.
Yes, ma'am.
That is the message from your
Yes,
brother.
ma'am.
All right.
Thank
Esther,
you,
you're welcome.
Sarah.
It
Thank you
promises
so much.
to be a good year for you at the end of the year. I see a lot of movement. I see a lot of success. And everything you think is not working or hasn't worked yet, perseverance is going to be key. Stay true to it and just trust that everything's going to fall into place. And I see multiple streams of income coming to you. So just keep holding on.
I believe every word you say, and I'm going to be booking a session real soon.
Thank you, Esther. Thank you. Greatly appreciate that as well. I look forward to that conversation. In the meantime, thank you for following the show and sharing the light and the love. We appreciate you. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Welcome. God bless you. 866-972-7247. We are going to go to Sylvia, and Sylvia is in California. Sylvia, how are you tonight?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection with you, Sylvia. Sylvia, how did you hear about the show?
It's funny. Lately, my sister and I, we watch a lot of YouTube things. And for some reason, popped up about drag queens. We're big, huge drag queen fans. And all of a sudden, your name popped up as far as a medium and with drag queens.
Yeah.
And I watched like 3 or 4 episodes, and I was hooked. It was really, really interesting.
It was a fun piece to do. Yeah, we loved doing that project.
You know what? I would encourage you to do more. I think it was a nice blend of both things, and it had a very good positive message. Even though I'm out here in California, a lot of people still, can hold barriers and things, and it's like, no, we should be more inclusive, going back to our roots and everything about, let's love. Love is love. And, break down those barriers.
Correct.
So, and this is my first, so I went online, I saw your name, and then I saw that, you were having you were in a radio show in Florida, which I thought was kind of funny because I've been to Fort Lauderdale twice, in the Fort Lauderdale, Broward County twice.
Yep.
And I wish I would have known about you because I would have definitely gone to the Enlightenment Center physically there, but I didn't get a chance to. But who knows?
Well,
maybe in the future.
We will never know, right? I'm sure the universe brought us together, so thank you so much. I'll be sure to tell our producers that you loved our seance with the queens, because they
Yes.
really put their heart and soul into producing that, and there's such a lot of fun stories behind the scenes that even brought all that about. But what is your burning question for us tonight, Sylvia? How can I best assist you on the journey of life? I will tell you that this year of 2024 into 2025, leading up to your birthday, twists and turns and changes, and this is the year to close the doors on things that no longer serve you. This is the year for you to just say, this is what I want to do. This is the year for you to put your boundaries down and pay attention. And if someone is not in alignment with you, you do have to let it go. You do have to walk away. You do have to make those changes. Because when I spin you back, I got to go back to, I am in the year of 2024, and then I've got to go back to 2014 into 2015. I feel like this was a time of some shifts and changes in your life at that time. Is that also true?
That is very true, yes.
Yes. So you're kind of closing a chapter. Yes.
I'm sorry, say it again?
I said you're kind of closing a chapter right now, and it kind of set you up for where you are now, is what I was saying. Go ahead, I'm listening.
Oh, okay. But yes, I went from one job and then moved an entirely different place and went to a completely different job. I love it, but unfortunately, I feel like I've been kind of spinning my wheels and coasting. So I've been encouraged to, hey, you know what, pay attention to messages and dreams. And I see little bits and pieces here and there, and even in nature. But I need to, I want to focus like either a spirit guide name or something to kind of help me, stay focused.
Yes.
Because I feel like I'm sometimes off balance.
Well, your mind is a busy place. So it's finding that ability to calm that down, because you've got like a California freeway in your mind.
Yes,
and
I do.
So we do have to kind of bring you to that intersection and have all the roads kind of cross, and then you pull over to the side and go, I am one with the divine spirit, because you really have to do that, right? And you have to seal yourself. So my guides are telling me to remind you of being present in the moment, and they want you to say this phrase to yourself: in the moment of now, I am aligned with all that is and all that will be. I am at peace. I am free. I am safe. And I am the magnet of the success and the happiness I desire. You need to remind yourself that in this moment, they want you to remember, in the moment that you're in, regardless of what's going on, and there's always something going on around you, right? You're a little part circus. And when I watch all of that happen around you, they really want you to just pull yourself back and say, in the moment of now, I'm in alignment with the universe. In the moment of now, I am safe, I am free. They want you to remind yourself of this. And you can go back on when we post this on YouTube, and when it's set in Facebook, you can go back in this moment. For us in Florida time, it's 8:20. For you, it's 5:20. Find the marker in the show and clip out the statement and begin to use it as your mantra. You have a spirit guide that is with you and has been with you. Sylvia, the spirit guide, has been with you since the age of 9. The spirit guide is an Indian spirit guide. The spirit guide is female energy. She assisted in the tribe of caring for the little ones. So she was almost like a caretaker of the little ones, caretaker, school teacher, that's, however she helped them in the tribe. So she is very much for the people of the tribe and helping everyone in the tribe. So this spirit guide is with you because she is your helper. And she is your helper so that you remember to stay in your youthful phase, you stay in your childlike wonderment, so that you remember to be playful in your very overactive, complicated mind that you have. And she's here to help you. She's been with you since you were 9, because she makes me feel like there was transformation and change going on with you at the age of 9. So I don't know if you had gone and moved around that time, but she talks to me about changes in that time, and that's around the period of time she entered into your vortex and has been guiding you ever since. Where were you at the age of 9?
So, well, of course, lived with my family, very large family. It was here in California. I want to say we moved, so I remember very, very young. We lived in apartments, and then eventually we ended up, my parents ended up purchasing a home. So I just thought it was super cool having a fireplace where we can put stockings up for Santa and all that good stuff. So I would say around that time,
correct,
we started, finding more space, and it was wonderful because, I mean, we had the trees, we had nature, we had space to run around, and it was nice. It gave us more breathing room, and I say us as my siblings and my parents and myself.
So imagine this, Sylvia. It is your time and space. Your guide is very close to you now, because where in your life do you need more breathing room? Where do we feel restricted? Where do we need to go back to nature and be free and be in the moment of now and ground ourselves, right? So this spirit guide have always with you, but you have many spirit guides and you're very intuitively guided. But your spirit guide, who's an Indian spirit guide, she steps forward and she's with you so that you can be your playful self, so you could be your adventurous self, so you could be in the energy of being grounded. And she's your helper, because as you help others, she helps you. I do have a session on my website that is called the Angel Spirit Guide Session, so I would love to go over that with you, or even a general session. I think that would be fun for us, even though you did not get to meet me personally when you were here in South Florida. It would be wonderful for us to have that opportunity to have a personal session. We can do it via video as well as by phone. I hope I've been of some service to you today.
I definitely say so, and this is incredible. Thank you so much.
Thank you. We greatly appreciate you, and thank you for following the show. And I'll be sure to tell my producers how much you enjoyed Seance with the Queens. We greatly appreciate that support that you're offering us, because we have an important message to bring out to the world. Thank you. Good night. We appreciate it.
All right. Thank you.
866-972-7247. I've got to take a minute to go to commercial. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
I've been standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know?
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with SarahSpiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
SarahSpiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know me. Every soul has its story, like a movie playing in a different theater. And the characters, they change like water into wine. Everything comes when the stars align.
Everything happens when the stars align, and the stars aligned for you tonight because you're listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah all across the nation at 866-972-7247. And if you're just tuning in, this is a show where every Wednesday night from 6:30 to 9 p.m. we answer your questions. Spirit guides me, gives me the insight, the information. I connect to your guides, your angels, and we even get lucky and get a connection with our loved ones from the other side. When they're available to transmit, I pull down the signal, interpret what they're saying, and I share it with all of you. I just love being able to do that. It's just like really a great opportunity for me to feel that energy and have them just drop in and let me know how they're doing. We are welcoming your phone calls all across the nation. We're welcoming your comments and your questions on Facebook and YouTube. We've got a call from Massachusetts. We've definitely been all across the country tonight, and tonight we're talking about different challenges we've been through as well, and we are most certainly sending our prayers and our love to everyone who is suffering during these difficult times in the weather. And we will take a call now from Willie in Massachusetts. Willie, how are you?
I'm doing well. How are you, Sarah?
Yes, I am well. Thank you so much, Willie. Good to make this connection with you again. And how are you doing? You're keeping busy, yes?
Yeah, I kind of feel like I'm piggybacking on your last caller who talked about how she felt like she was spinning her wheels at one of her jobs. And
yes.
I've been feeling the same way at my job for quite a bit. And I've spent like the last 6 months or so, like actively looking for new positions. A lot of the positions I've come across, especially over the past few weeks and recent months, have like really strongly resonated with me. But I haven't gotten any callbacks for interviews, which sometimes happens. And I continue to do my search. But now I feel like I'm just coming across like jobs I've already applied to or jobs that don't really resonate with me in my search. So I'm kind of wondering, do I just take a break and just trust that what I've already put out is going to come to me in some kind of interview, or, do I keep going and, keep pushing through because perhaps I haven't found the right position yet?
It's a combination of several things. First thing I'm hearing as you're speaking to me, the universe is just kind of telling me, just relax, all right? They're moving slower than a snail in mud, and it seems like a lot of the positions that you're applying for, even though they may be looking for someone, there's a lot of behind-the-scenes actions that have to happen in order for their hiring process, and so I don't feel like they have their ducks in a row. I feel like they're just kind of moving forward in a very slow pace, gathering potential hires, then deciding when they want to do the interviews, then deciding when do they really want the people or the person to start. So, like, I feel like they're looking, but it's like they're casting their net out, but they're not really pulling it up to see what fish they have in the net yet. So I just feel like they've got a big cast out, and that seems to be with at least 3 of the jobs that you have applied for. And when I see that, I'm also made aware of the fact that there's most likely something even better than what you've applied for. So we kind of take this all with a grain of salt, the fact that it's taking a bit long, and just say, all right, it is what it is. And we want you to take a step back. We want you to take a step back and let what you've put into motion in the universe to build momentum. And then in November, we want you to start back up again. Because a November submission will lead you to a new year of new opportunities that will give you a potential higher paying, more challenging job. Because you're really looking to feel like you are doing something that brings you some joy and kind of keeps you on your toes. I'm not saying you want to be overworked, but you do enjoy a challenge and learning new things and doing different aspects of your role and interacting with different people. And I feel like the people that you're working with and for are just, they're just kind of there. Like they're almost like little robots. And I don't feel like you're feeling appreciated. And as much as it's a lot of routine, and you most certainly can enjoy the fact that at least it's a routine and you know what to do and it doesn't have much drama, so you just keep going. I feel like the gerbil wheel has served you well now. It's time to get off the wheel. This makes sense to you, yes?
Yes.
But there is something else coming, and it's really time for you to just use this important time to get your things in order personally. They make me feel that you have to focus on your personal life right now as well and really get yourself situated is the word they give. They're very specific with their word. They want you to get yourself situated so you have personal freedom in the choices you make in your life. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So I want you to just trust that your opportunity will come in the perfect time. Also, they want you to explore something that you seem to be thinking you're going to put on the shelf. I don't feel that that project that you were working on is over. I just feel like you need to restructure it. And this lull at work and this inability to make a shift and change yet is giving you a holding pattern to put yourself on track with your personal project, your personal product creation. So focus on that as well, all right?
Yes, I'm focused on that too. So thank you for the push and the reminder to keep that top of mind.
Keep it in motion. You know, we have many ways to express that, and we want to get that off the ground and running, because if you dive into a new position, it may require a little more of your attention. So now that you have little more flexibility, and you still have flexibility, please use it wisely to get yourself personally in order and all personal business projects in order so that you can really have a very successful 2025. For when I look at your 2025, it is a year of great expansion and growth for you. And 2026 is a year of making some major shifts in your personal life. So there's a lot coming up for you. So fasten your seatbelt.
Wow, 2026. Okay.
All right. All right. Thank you so much, Willie. We greatly appreciate your calling the show and following us. We appreciate you greatly. Bye for now.
Thank you, Sarah. Bye-bye.
You're welcome. Bye. 866-972-7247. We want to pull a question or two from Facebook and YouTube. I know that we've got some people there, and we most certainly want to make sure that everybody is acknowledged. So 866-972-7247 is the number to call. We've got calls all across the nation still. We also have calls in Rhode Island, Melbourne, West Palm. But let's pull a question from Facebook or YouTube if we can. I would love to do that and see. We've got Ann Swantic. She says, any message from angel or spirit or anything good in my life going to happen? Honey, there's a lot of good things that are going to happen for you. And it is a good time for you, Ann. And this time that I see here, on or around your birthday really represents this really fresh start. And I feel like Spirit wants you to know that the challenges and the difficulties that you may feel have been weighing you down, those challenges are not here to bring you down. They are just here to redirect you so that you can land in the perfect place, because I do feel that your guides and your angels are telling you that your life is going to have a good turnaround and that 2025 is going to be a better year. And as we come close to the end of this year, some of these changes begin to manifest so that you feel like I am making progress and I do have success to my name and I do feel financially secure and I have made a change, and makes me feel like you may have a change in a location, a move, some type of physical shift having to do with location. I don't know that I want to place it in career. I want to place it more in personal locations. So just know that these things are there for you and they're going to make a difference, and we want you to be ready for that. So yes, something good is coming, and I want you to get ready. Anne, thank you so much for your Facebook question. Let's see if we have one more on Facebook and YouTube before I go to my phone lines. Let's see if we have anybody else popping up on my screen. That would be great. And we have Paul McDonald. Paul McDonald, July 1st. All right, it's his birthday. I would like to know if my friend who passed away is with who I have feelings for. So your friend who passed away is pleased with who you have feelings for, because your friend who passed away wanted nothing more than for you to be happy. Your friend who passed away, that energy of your friend lets me know that she is very supportive of your joy and your happiness, because you were always very supportive of your friend, and your friend is in great appreciation of all that you did and is showering you down with blessings. I do feel, Paul McDonald, that your friend did come to you in a dream. Feels like not too long ago, time being a bit of an illusion, but I do feel in the past recent months your friend did come to you. So that is a message that they are with you. That is a message that you are never alone, and that is a message that you want to always remember, that life is going to bring you new opportunities to find happiness, and your friend wants you to be happy. Thank you so much, Paul McDonald, for following the show. We greatly appreciate that. We're going to go back to our phone lines at 866-972-7247, and we've got Diane, and Diane is in Melbourne. Diane, how are you tonight?
Hello, Sarah. How are you?
I'm doing well. Good to make this connection
Can you hear
with
me?
you. I do hear you. Diane, how did you hear about the show?
I saw you for personal readings twice.
Well, thank you.
And
We
so,
appreciate that.
I've been following you.
And I appreciate you following us. What is your burning question for us, please?
Does my spirit guides or angels or anybody from the other side have any messages for me?
Interesting. So angels are with you. You talk to your angels. I have Michael and I have Gabriel with you. So your angels are with you. You have your guardian angel just stepping forward here to see who's there with you. When I first heard your voice, I felt the presence of a man standing above you, stands in the position of father energy. Your dad has passed, Diane, please?
Yes, yes.
Okay. And when I went into his energy, I just really, my throat felt very tight. Did Dad have something going on with his throat before he passed, please?
Yes, he had throat cancer.
Okay, thank you so much. So know that Dad is with you. When I first went in, I was like, like I couldn't clear my voice. I don't know if he used to make that throat noise, but he is with you, standing there. He literally came as I heard your voice right above your essence. So know that Dad is very, very close to you. I also see you developing and you connecting into your spirit energy. You've been opening up spiritually for a while. Is that true, Diane?
Yes.
And do you have cards or oracle cards or something? They're kind of putting cards down for me. Do you have cards as well?
Yes, I do.
Okay. And are you putting cards down for yourself and for other people, please? Because they make me feel like we need to do more of that connection, more of that verification, more of that confirmation. They really want you to develop that connection with spirit because it's going to be most beneficial for you and for those that you choose to share that talent, that gift, that connection with. There's also strong healing energy working through you. I think you need to pour some of your own healing energy on yourself. Something seems out of sorts in the hip, the thigh, the lower back, the hip connection to the lower leg, to the upper leg. Are we suffering somewhere in the hip area, please, Diane?
Yeah, yes, in the lower back.
And the lower back. I'm not a doctor, cannot diagnose. Let's say that again. I cannot tell you what to do, honey. But I do want you to take a look at the positioning of the hips, and I feel like we need to maybe go to an osteopath. We need to get something kind of gently put back into place. I feel like we need to get the body in better alignment. This should alleviate some of the pressure. I'm also seeing a lot of inflammation in the physical body. It is also affecting your digestion as well. But I'm also feeling inflammation in the physical body, and this is causing a lot of these aches, these pains, this difficulty in movement. Does that make sense to you?
Yes.
Okay. So we've got some adjustments to do. You need to put you first. You need to pay better attention to you. This year is really about you expanding yourself and tapping into your soul's purpose and really being in alignment with who you've come to be. Actually, this sounds kind of crazy to say, but I feel like you're just finally really getting to know who you are. Does that make sense to you? Like, I feel like it's always been about everything and everybody else, and now it's finally we're stepping into the power of you and who you are and loving self and trying to learn to put self first. Does that align with you? Yes?
Yes.
Yeah. So keep on that path. Spirit is very happy to be working with you. And Archangel Michael steps before you everywhere you go. Know that you're always protected. Your messages are coming from Archangel Gabriel, is helping you with your intuitive pushes, your intuitive knowing. And your dad is sending you much love from the other side. And he's telling me to tell you thank you.
Okay, thank you, Sarah. I appreciate it. You
You're
have
welcome.
a nice day. Evening.
You too. Bye for now. Bye. 866-972-7247. I've got to pop off for a quick commercial. If you're on hold, stay with us. Don't go away. We're going to be right back.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Did you call me with your song? Because you know.
Stay tuned for more Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, coming up right after the break. Continue the conversation with Sarah Spiritual on Facebook and YouTube. The phone lines are open too. 866-9-SARAHS. That's 866-972-7247.
Come visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center for an extensive array of spiritual products, crystals, books, classes, readings, and healing services in a beautiful spiritual oasis. You must visit the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Come feel the energy and explore our unique products. Arrange for your own personal spiritual reading with Sarah Spiritual for spiritual insight. The Expedito Enlightenment Center is located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard, Suite 129 in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955. Visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com. That's EXPEDITO enlightenmentcenter.com for yourself. Or for a thoughtful gift, there's no better place to visit than the Expedito Enlightenment Center in West Palm Beach. Call 561-682-0955 or visit online at expeditoenlightenmentcenter.com.
Sarah Spiritual is a gifted spiritual advisor and medium. She can connect you with your loved ones, your spirit guides, and ascended beings. Sarah specializes in love, relationships, money, career, health, and healing. She has an uncanny ability to convey the true thoughts and emotions of those around you. Just call 561-682-0956 for your personal reading. Life is a spiritual journey, and each situation has a spiritual solution. Just contact Sarah for a personal reading today. 561-682-0956. 561-682-0956. Or visit SarahSpiritual.com. Or that number one more time, 561-682-0956. Let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit raise you up.
Hi, I'm Sarah Spiritual, the founder of the Expedito Enlightenment Center. I would love for you to visit me at my spiritual oasis located at 4047 Okeechobee Boulevard in the Tree of Life Plaza in West Palm Beach. Come, feel the energy, sample my spiritual sprays and oils, participate in one of my spiritual development classes, and have a personal reading with me, Sarah Spiritual. Let's see what Spirit has to say. You can call the Expedito Enlightenment Center at 561-682-0955. Not local? Visit me, Sarah Spiritual, at SarahSpiritual.com for products, classes, and to book your personal session.
You are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah, your spiritual advisor and medium. Connect with Sarah Spiritual and be in the energy of light. Call right now, Sarah Spiritual, at 866-9-SARAHS. That's toll free, 866-972-7247. Just ask your questions or message Sarah Spiritual live on Facebook and YouTube.
Standing in the room before I walk through the door. Do you know me? Have you heard me? Have you seen me? Do you know my voice? Did you call me with your song? Because you know that you know.
Did you call me because you know that you know me? I am Sarah Spiritual, and you are listening to Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. And if you're just joining us and we're getting ready to close out the show, Then come back next Wednesday at 6:30 p.m. We'll be with you till 9 p.m. answering questions. We're also going to have Stacy Holler here on the show answering our question as to what's going to go on in the astrology for the month of October. She's with family celebrating tonight, so we wish her the best with her family, and we will see Stacy Holler next Wednesday night. We're going to go back to our phone lines. We're definitely getting around the country tonight. We're going to Rhode Island, and I've got Dorothy. Dorothy, how are you tonight?
I'm doing well, and how are you?
I'm well. Thank you so much for asking. I appreciate that.
Certainly. I have two questions, and I'll try and make them brief. My brother had an accident at work, but he didn't have any signs, so he thought he was fine. But the next morning he couldn't even get up. He has been told that he's going to have 2 more surgeries on his back. And I just wanted to know what you see for him.
What is your brother's? Yes, thank
May
you.
12th.
Okay. And what is your brother's name?
Jimmy.
Okay. And you're not here with me, but those who are watching me on thing, I already have the letter J on my paper. I knew that we were going to have the J in his name here. So we've got Jimmy here, so I'm already tuned in. You know, 2 spots in the back, right? They're talking to me about discs and vertebrae. Is that true? Is he having problems and pressure with discs and vertebrae? Is that? I'm not a doctor, but that's how they show it to me. Is that true?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, it is.
They're also talking to me about something going on. Did he have an issue with something going on with his blood, please? Were we checking his separate matter? I'm not a doctor, but were they checking his blood for something like sugar or cholesterol recently, please? And that's off in him as well. Did he go for some tests recently?
That I don't know about.
Okay. So we want him to keep an eye on his blood, sugar, cholesterol.
Okay.
These things we want to keep an eye on. So when I look at his birthday, his surgery is due to happen in the next month or so. Is that about right?
Well, yes, they have to. They told him they would get back to him because they have to have both doctors available so they can both be in the OR.
Operating room. Yeah. Well, this is supposed to be in the next about month or so. This is how it makes me feel. It's going to be done before the end of the year. This would be better done sooner than later. It's better for him to do it this year energetically than it is for him next year. But we have to, we have to trust that the universe will help him through that. It's not going to be an easy surgery, but I do feel that he will be okay. He's going to require a lot of care when he comes out. I know they kind of get people up and moving, but it's really, he's not going to be able to work for a period of time. But, I know that I'm sure he has workers and comps, so I'm sure there'll be something to help him through that. But I do feel that he's going to be all right. And you pray to the angel Raphael for the healing of your brother and Michael to protect your brother during this time of surgery. And, of course, as you follow the show, be sure to let us know when the surgery is so that we can put out the power of prayer for your brother, Jimmy. And what is your next question for me? Because we have just a minute.
I just wanted to know what the spirit showed regarding employment for myself.
And you don't like being stuck and doing nothing, correct?
Oh, God, no. It's bothering me, but I'm trying to deal with it as best I can.
Yeah, you're not feeling... You're feeling like you got put out to pasture, but you're not ready to be put out to pasture. And I do feel that I think we might have talked about this before, but I do feel that there's work coming. Yes. This conversation feels familiar, Dorothy, so I just want you to know that I do feel that work is going to come. So just keep
Okay.
yourself open. Just keep putting yourself out there, whether
Mhm.
it's a receptionist at a chiropractor office, whether it's something, try different things because, the universe will bring you
Right.
something that'll bring you a stream of income. I see a woman standing
Okay.
above you, Dorothy. Mom passed. Is that true?
Yes.
Mom's energy is above you. I have her energy with you. Do want you to know that Mom is with you as we get ready to close the show. Know that she is with you. I know there's a lot to
Thank
explain
you.
about all that, but just know that Mom is with you for this
Yes.
minute. All right. Thank you so
Thank
much,
you
Dorothy.
so
and
kindly.
you're welcome.
Certainly.
And we send the best to your
God bless.
brother as well. Thank you for following the show. Good night.
Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night.
866-972-7247. If we didn't get to your call tonight, be sure to pop in next Wednesday night. We greatly appreciate all of you who have taken the time to share time and space with us. For those of you celebrating Rosh Hashanah, we wish you the very best on this holiday. And for those of you who are being faced with challenges, know that your faith will help get it through. We send all of our prayers, all of our energy, all of our love to everyone in Tennessee and the Carolinas and in Georgia and Florida and in Virginia, anyone who is impacted by the storm. We send you the love and the energy so that you can make it through. And those of you who can help, do something to help, even if it's something small. And I know that the universe has all of our backs. God is with us. The angels are with us. And drop down in your heart and your soul and count on your faith to get you through no matter what you are faced with. And these things will pass. Thank you so much. Good night. God bless you. And I am Sarah Spiritual.
The world is different now, and people have lost their way. It's just not easy to be who we want to be.
This has been Spiritually Speaking with Sarah. You can hear and speak with Sarah Spiritual every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. Each week, Sarah Spiritual and Spirit answer your most important questions as you navigate through life. Listen and call in next week and let Sarah Spiritual and Spirit guide you. If you didn't have a chance to speak with Sarah Spiritual tonight, visit Sarah at SarahSpiritual.com. You can message Sarah Spiritual at Facebook and follow her on Instagram. Tune in every Wednesday from 6:30 to 9 p.m. with more from Spiritually Speaking with Sarah.
The opinions expressed on the preceding sponsored program were strictly those of its host, guests, and callers, and not necessarily those of this station, its staff, management, or sponsors.
WSFS 1